Women in the US are not happy over the election and they're starting a new movement because of it. So since Kamala lost, thousands of women are refusing to accept that this has happened because it was completely unexpected to many. And this situation has angered many women to the point that they're now bringing over a new movement to the US called the 4B movement.
We have the power to make morons go extinct like dinosaurs.
You guys feel spicy? Because I do.
I'm the reason 4B exists.
No matter how loud, how kind, respectful, how cute, men will still fucking hate you.
Women are talking about bringing that 4B movement right here to the United States.
Time to lock the fuck in. Operation 4B.
Refuse to date men, get married, have sex with them, or children.
All I have to say is good luck getting laid. Me and my girlies are participating in the 4B movement.
No more kitty cat for moderate men. About being all the things that the patriarchy wants us to be. Clearly, they don't give a shit about us.
No attention to men. Delete block. Do not respond to them.
Government cares that they're not having kids because children are the future labor force.
I'm gonna start barking and getting fucking crazy.
I think I'm crazy? Me too. I'm crazy. Just like all the women before me who were crazy.
It is the best thing I've ever done for my mental health. We're not crazy. We have to do this together.
The women who are doing the 4B movement help other women who are doing the 4B movement.
Alright, if you're a man, I will not be responding to you. I am going to be promoting the 4B movement.
Do not acknowledge them. Do not look at them. Do not laugh at their jokes.
Why exactly are you going to keep becoming subservient to a nation that doesn't literally care about you?
Wake women up.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for choosing us today. So today we are diving into a very controversial movement that is actually gaining traction in America, the 4B movement. From TikTok to X to Facebook to Instagram, it's gaining traction faster than ever as American women are choosing to opt out of traditional relationships. They are saying there is no sex, there is no marriage, there is no having kids, and there is no dating men. That is what the 4B movement stands for. So guys, so many people have come out and reacted, especially after Trump won the election. That is when American women picked up this movement, which actually originates from South Korea. As a result of that movement, South Korea is facing a drop in childbirth. So let's jump into the videos. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, share, drop a comment. So let's jump into the videos and then I'm gonna come back and give my commentary.
We have the power to make morons go extinct like dinosaurs. The morons here are just creating mediocrity. They are creating harm to Mother Earth, disrespecting the planet, and they are cancer to the planet. We don't need that, okay? We can live without mediocrity. We can live without the morons, okay? And if you're continuing to procreate with morons, you're just making little morons. We don't need that sugarfoot. Y'all acting like pregnancy is not a high risk as a woman, especially a black woman. You can possibly die from childbirth, and you out here going half on a baby with the moron that hasn't even bought you a ring or signed paperwork to commit their life to you? How silly. But you thinking, oh, he gonna stay because he loved me. He is just talking. It's all talk, no bite. You need to let people be about that action. You need to see paperwork. You need to see funds in the bank account. You need to quit being on this fantasy and just being all in la land as a woman and just thinking that love is sex or love is attention. Love is respect. Does this motherfucker respect you or not? If he respects you, he will put his life on the line and sign some paperwork for you. If he not willing to do that, don't have no baby with no modern day bum.
Men are obviously missing the point with this 4B movement, so I decided let me just read off a couple of things that men have done to me in my past, and maybe through this guys will empathize and understand. There was a man who cut me with a knife on my leg in his car and then held the knife up to my throat and told me I could drape you right now, and then forced me to give him a BJ. A man asked me over to watch a movie, and then he forced his way on top of me and begged me for smecks. Even after I said no, he asked why, and I said because no means no. and he continued to try to force his way into my pants. A man, or boy at the time, inappropriately touched me in front of my brother, and then whenever I threatened to tell my brother, he apologized to him, not me, and my brother forgave him. When I was a senior in high school, my principal came up to me and stood inches away from my face and told me that my outfit was inappropriate. I was wearing a cheetah print romper on Animal Day during Spirit Week, and it was approved by my mom. Whenever I told a guy that I was trying to date that I had been SA'd, he asked me what was I wearing and did I give them the impression that I was asking for it. And like, I wish that one was fake. Anyway, so with the 4B movement, women are just wanting safety and respect and empathy. Like, don't look at us like sexual objects and see that we are human beings that can actually hold trauma. And we have thoughts and ambitions and ideas of our own, and we don't just want to sit inside and clean up behind you and cook you food and have sex with you. And by the way, for anyone wondering, I have healed from all these things, which is why I'm able to talk about them and spread awareness, because this has happened to many women. We are not obligated to lay in bed with you. We are not obligated to give you our attention. And the sooner you learn that, the sooner the 4B movement can end and there can be some healing in our society. But if men continue to act like this, there's not going to be any healing, at least for you guys. Women will heal. We'll heal with each other.
I just think we need to stop talking to men. Like, they are so stupid. They're so stupid. Like, every chance they get to shut the fuck up, they choose to not shut the fuck up.
What is this 4B movement women keep talking about?
The 4B movement is where women are choosing celibacy and to not engage with men, specifically men that have voted for Trump.
Are they crazy? Why would women avoid me just because I made my own decision?
Because to many women, men who have voted for Trump has said to them that they do not care about women's bodies, their needs, their wants, or care about them as a whole.
I mean, I don't care about them. It's not like it affects me. But now that they're gonna ignore me, they need to talk to me.
Like that. Why would you try to convince somebody, or why would you try to force somebody to want to do something when she clearly just says she doesn't?
Because she's a woman and I'm a man, and it's my job to dominate her and for her to be submissive to me. How do you not see the problem?
The only problem with the current 4B movement is the new and improved version makes a lot of sense. However, there's also people saying they've been doing it for 4 years.
Involuntarily.
Like a trauma response.
So half women think it's for all men and the other half think it's for only men that voted for Trump and don't care about women.
Some people are getting it confused. So I think what needs to happen is the people, along with the new and improved 4B movement, maybe they should change the name to 5B or something else, new or better version of it, so people are more on track with exactly what the game plan is.
So basically, women have lost their minds, they're blaming men for all of their problems, and now I have to pay for it. Why is this happening?
Women feel like they don't matter here in this society, and things like this won't happen.
You lost your mind! Ignore me, make me angry! That's okay, because Republican women will still be looking for me.
Then why do you care so much?
Because there's a male loneliness epidemic, and they're just making it worse. My girlfriend already left me!
So you feel targeted.
It's really too late! Friday 2023! This time it's alright!
I know this is misplaced anger that I'm about to express, but I need to say it anyway. As a mean, man-hating lesbian processing these election results, I am seeing so many women who date men, straight, queer, otherwise, joining the 4B movement, discovering the 4B movement, and really like post-election realizing like no men are good. No man sees you as a full human being. There is no man who does not somehow in his deep depths of his soul believe that he's better than a woman. That doesn't exist. A man like that doesn't exist. And now that all of these straight women or women who date men are realizing this, they're jumping onto 4B. And I'm so happy you're doing that. I'm so happy you're decentering men, and I'm so happy you're doing that. The anger that I'm feeling that I know is displaced, that I'm trying to work through, is I'm sitting with Madeline like, it's good overall that these women are waking up and that they're not going to give men anything. That's a good thing. And then there's the other part of me, this like little petulant child inside of me that's like kicking and screaming, being like, I've known this. Like, lesbians have known this, and lesbians have been criticized by straight women or women who date men alike. Lesbians have been criticized for being mean and man-hating, told that they are scary. Lesbians have been demonized for this. And now that we're fucked, women who date men are going, oh my God, men are bad. Men is bad. And I'm like, yes, we've known this. And thank you for waking up. Thank you for waking up. But like, I have known this.
So yeah, the girls are at it again. Now the 4B movement is not new. Okay, this actually was created in South Korea by a small group of women. And then the American women got a hold of it 2 years ago when Roe v. Wade was overturned, and then they fucking exacerbated the entire thing. Now, they weren't shaving their heads like they are now, right? But in the midst of them centering themselves and just seeing themselves in the mirror, they're missing out on what's actually happening in life. The fact that Trump is trying to mandate insurance companies to fully cover IVF treatments for families. There goes your reproductive rights. Okay? The fact that Putin is ready to negotiate, Hamas is like, we're fucking done with this shit, and world leaders are all congratulating Trump on this win. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a single woman. And the fact that these crazos are out here, they're like, we're not touching men. I hope that means more for me. Okay? I'm sorry. I hope it does. I hope it does, you know, because they're going nuts. They're going nuts. You guys should thank those men, actually. You should thank them. Go fucking put some vitamin D on a goddamn bald ass head and touch some grass.
So apparently there's this thing called the 4B movement, and I feel like I remember this being a thing after Roe v. Wade was overturned. I don't necessarily know what 4B means, but my 30 seconds of research told me that it's actually a movement proposed by liberal women in protest of Trump being elected. And what does it entail? Oh, madness. And what I mean by madness is refusing to have sex with men that won't, you know, commit, love, support, respect, and marry you, make you their wife. It's insane. What a brand new idea. Who's going to tell them this is actually a very common mindset among conservative women, and dare I say, traditional, old-fashioned. Oh, so you don't want to potentially procreate with a man who's refusing to commit to raising those children alongside you? Oh, right, you're going to send them a message by upping your standards and lowering the risk that more and more babies are going to be aborted due to your instability in life? Wild. Oh, no, don't do that. The conservatives will hate it. It's such a bummer that you're gonna weed out the whiny little boys who just wanna lay and leave. That's gonna suck. You go, girl. You know, you uphold those traditional, leftist feminist values.
I'm sorry, were y'all using abortions like condoms? Were you getting abortions in place of the pill? Yo, I made a video the other day, before the election, and that I agree, abortion should be illegal in all 50 states, and it's not something we should be talking about taking away the fuck. I agree with y'all, but abortions are red button moments. The birth control failed, the condom failed. Oh, we tried everything in our power to prevent this, and it still happened. Gotta go to the clinic type shit. I'm just sleeping around, getting raw dogged by everyone and busted in by everyone, and if I get pregnant, I'll just delete his fetus. That's not what I meant. Y'all talking about, I'm joining the 4B movement now because they took away reproductive rights. Stop trying to make it sound pretty. The reproductive rights you're talking about is just being able to get an abortion when you needed to. It should not have been that often. Maybe once if everything else failed. It's not like they're taking condoms and birth control away. They're not even taking abortions away. It's up to your state. You just go to the other state and get one type shit. And this is coming from someone who agrees with you. There's a lot of women online y'all elected him, so I'm celibate for the next 4 years and da-da-da. No more raw dog and you can't make me a Twinkie no more. Shouldn't have been doing that shit anyway. Listen, I understand the pro-lifers' plight. They want everybody to follow their religion because they feel like their religion is superior and da-da-da. Most of the people I know in real life are devout Christians. Don't get me wrong, I understand how annoying that can be. But some pro-lifers were making great points. I'm mutuals with a guy. His name's Womp Womp. Very intelligent young man. Not gonna hold you. You can tell he read books after he graduated, high school or college or whatever his highest form of education was. And he said something along the lines of, I'm sorry, did we just make you better people? They're forcing you to be better people. And I think what's lying under that message is, you should have been using multiple forms of birth control before you went and got an abortion. Even though I disagree with what most people bring up when they talk about being pro-life, this, that, and the third, there's some validity to it. Abortion shouldn't be used bro, how many abortions y'all get? It shouldn't be used fuck it, I just got pregnant again, let me just go get another one. It should be, you were making a strong effort not to get pregnant because you know how you get pregnant and you gonna do that, so you should have wore a condom, you should have been on birth control. Okay, when those two fail and you still get pregnant, it's damn. All right, let's go to this clinic, get an abortion, and then after that you should get much more serious, okay, I ain't fucking doing that no more. Y'all acting were y'all using abortions as condoms?
One of the reasons I chose to be child-free is because I've seen too many women basically becoming ghosts in their own lives. Back in my 20s, I met a woman that was 30 at the time, and she was everything I wanted to be. Strong, independent, successful. She was the kind of woman that didn't need a man, but that wanted a man. You know the type. The problem wasn't becoming a mother or having a child. It was how society and her partner slapped a label on her. Just a mother, not a woman anymore. And being a mother comes with a whole playbook of double standards. She gave birth, stayed home, took care of the house, took care of the baby, the whole shebang. And what did society call that? Not work. Her partner was also the typical man that was saying, let me help with the baby, thinking that that means actual parenting. Then there's this gem. When she wanted to go back to work, revive her business, you know what people said? But the kid needs the mother. Aren't you worried you're going to miss their childhood? Because apparently being a successful woman and a good mom are mutually exclusive. It was useless that a couple of people in her life, including myself, told her, hey, this is BS. Do what makes you happy. But when the majority thinks of you in a way, you tend to believe them, especially because you want the best for your child, right? She grew up knowing for a fact that everyone loves breast. Everyone wants you to whip them out until you need to breastfeed. The fact that she had to breastfeed in bathroom stalls makes me think we're delusional when we think of ourselves as an advanced species. But more than anything, what really surprised me to my core was the fact that her partner was complaining that she's changing, that she's more serious, that she doesn't smile much. Yeah, maybe because she's having postpartum depression. Maybe try and, I don't know, support her. You don't know how? Crazy thought. Google it, research it. For God's sake, there are men that are playing video games for hours or planning their fantasy football teams, but you can't research how to be a supportive partner or how to parent full-time, not as a part-time gig. Maybe that's why movements like 4B are becoming so popular nowadays, because collectively we don't appreciate mothers. We don't make space for them, we don't think of them, we don't share their loads. They're expected to work but not complain, to become good mothers but never change, and treat their partner like a man but also like a child, telling him what to do as a parent even though no one tells her. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against motherhood, I'm all for making sure we appreciate it, because it can be there in one breath we complain about it and we say, well, who told you to have kids? But at the same time we're gonna blame women for the population decline. Like, it's like you're saying to a broke artist, who told you to be an artist? But then you lose your mind when they want to actually monetize their work instead of giving it to you for free. Of course, this is just one of the reasons.
You're absolutely right, I am 4B. But what that means for you, you're not gonna like it. As a poster child for 4B, who am I? I am the everyday guy that was intelligent enough and ambitious enough to become wealthy by the age of 25. So at the age of 25, I'm pushing a convertible AMG Mercedes and have a high-rise apartment and I'm making millions of dollars per year, and women, you know what they did? They completely abandoned all of their boundaries and principles. And what this proved was hypergamy. For every 100 attractive women out there, there were one guy like me. And all 100 attractive women had gaslit themselves into thinking that they deserved a guy like me, but they secretly knew that they were competing against 99 other women. So what did these women do? They competed, they did more. They wore the shorter skirts, they put out on the first dates, they did all the preemptive texting when I wouldn't text them first. They would accept the bad things about me, including the fact that I was actively seeing 5 or 6 other women at the same time. And these women burned out. The reason why is even though these women were mostly amazing, a lot of great qualities, they just couldn't outcompete the fact that there were 6 or 7 other amazing women that were equal or better than them in some areas. They would have to be better than 8 women at the same time, and that's nearly impossible for an egotistical, selfish guy like me. So yes, me, the rich, egotistical, selfish guy, I burned through women in my 20s and early 30s. And it's guys like me that have caused the Western 4B movement. It's not the average everyday guy. It's not the nice guy that would buy you flowers and listen to your problems and hold down a steady job and just wants to get married and have kids. It's not the nerd that would love just a regular modest girlfriend who's not too flashy and they can spend time watching The Office together or whatever. It's not the country boy who's sad that he didn't find a high school sweetheart and get married early, so he's just ready to settle down with just any girl who's loyal enough. There are so many good average guys out there that you are condemning because you're blaming all men, when you really should just be blaming the top 0.5% of men. Blame the basketball players. Blame the entrepreneurs, blame the musicians, blame the models. Blame every ego chad that has ever had enough power to get 20 women to compete against each other. But then blame the women for participating in that. See, 4B exists because you struck out. You wanted love, you wanted to get married, you wanted to find a good guy, but you wouldn't date the right ones, you wanted to date what you thought to be the best ones were, and you were competing for the best against the rest of the women out there, and you failed. You just failed. But you can't take accountability for that, can you? Women need to take accountability for the fact that they've got this mindset-oriented thing where they just believe that they're a 10 and they think that that's going to work, but that puts them in precarious situations where they're dating guys that don't value them because they're not valuable enough. And no, you're not just a princess for existing, so no, you're not valuable enough. Get that through your head. And dating a rich guy has consequences. They're usually too busy, they usually have unhealed trauma, there's a lot of problems there, but you keep trying to date these guys. Women like to date red flags. I don't know why. You can tell the world, why do you date red flags? But the fact that you hit 35 or 32 or 29 and realize that you're used up and too old to really be attractive anymore and you want to stop dating red flags now that your time's up, it's too late for you. You have to take accountability for that. Yes, I am the poster boy for the 4B. Thank you.
All right, folks, there you have it. Actually, as you have seen, I think he's a little bit right there. Why do some women choose to date red flags? For you women who are watching in the comment section, let us know actually, why do most of the women date red flags? And the hate that is coming towards men, American men particularly, because they voted Trump. But my question is, what about the white women who voted for Trump in order to back their whiteness interests instead of backing their womanhood interests? So what about those? Why are they not being boycotted? And most of them have joined the 4B movement in hypocrisy, actually, to boycott men who voted for Trump. Have you actually thought that maybe she did not have convincing policies for people to vote for her, for men to vote for her? And some are saying, I heard one person actually saying that it's not a question of whether she was a woman or who was actually running for president. And they were saying if Candace Owen, for example, was running for office and she had the same policies as Trump had, maybe she would have won this election. So what do you think about that? Let me know about that in the comment section. But we have seen throughout the video, many women are joining the 4B movement where they are boycotting men by actually not having the 4Bs. The B stands for no in Mandarin. This is a movement that originates from South Korea, where women actually boycott men by, not having any sex or childbirth or dating men and even not marrying men. This is what the 4Bs actually mean in Mandarin. And as a result of this, it has caused a drastic drop in birth rate in South Korea, and the government is actually worried because the economy depends on the population. So this might have a big repercussion in the US if it goes on. But I know the US government might cover that up with allowing more immigrants to come into the country. And as the Red Party was actually saying in their campaigns and rallies, the immigrants, they like making babies. So they'll come actually and take over, if you don't want to have kids. So what do you think about this 4B movement actually? Is it right for American women to boycott men just because they voted for Trump? A person who has a policy that is against abortion, but people are asking themselves, when did abortion become a first resort? I thought it would be a last resort because people have to use, birth controls and other measures and, go to abortion when actually it's too late. It has to be the red button, as we have seen some of the people saying in this video. So if you also want to do that, people are saying that it's not gonna be all states. Some states are gonna be actually having that, and you can hope to the next state and then have that and come back if you wish. So is this actually gonna go on just because of a policy? So if you are actually an American woman watching this video in favor of the 4B movement or not in favor, let me know in the comment section. What do you think about today's episode? If you are new, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, drop a comment, and share to your family and friends. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for choosing us today. As always, guys, see you on the next episode.